I did too. And while we're here, we should mention that this movie had a sequel,
It did. It did.
which surprised the hell out of me. And I got to be honest, Marcus, I did not finish the movie.
He didn't. Well, I watched Deadliest Prey as well. You can find it on YouTube for free.
Yep.
So I would suggest watching the follow up to this.
Did you
if
like
you
the
have time.
follow up more?
No, I did not.
No, I didn't either.
This was a carbon copy, just older people, and of the first one. If they
Yeah.
would have done something different, I would have enjoyed it more.
Yeah.
But after I had to hear that girl say "true dat," like the hacker. Do you know who I'm
Yes.
talking about?
That whole group of hackers was some of the worst acting I've ever seen on film.
It's horrible.
And I know they listen to this show, so thank you for listening. But
Yeah.
I mean, it really is just terrible. It's like, I don't know how to describe it. It really looks like you give a bunch, you allow a high schooler group to write a scene, and then they read through it for the first time, and that is what you hear when they're like, "Hey, check this out." Oh, I found it.
I'm sending you the URL now.
Yeah, where are we going? We're going right here. It's just- and so in the sequel, it's basically a Hunger Games situation where Ted Pryor's character,
Mike Danton.
Mike Danton, is now being hunted by the same guy, but he's going to film it all, and that's the thing. But these hackers somehow come across it and want to help him.
Yeah,
What happened?
You just have people in bars just like watching this
Oh.
this kill shot of everything that he's doing.
And what happens to the hackers? Do they help him? Do they find him? I don't know what happens.
So, yeah, I don't want to ruin it for you, but I mean, just
That's
in
okay.
a quick, yeah.
I would much rather not watch it.
So, spoilers ahead. If you want to turn it
Yeah.
off, go ahead. But near the end, yeah, the hackers find his location. They drive out there. Danton wants him to get out of there. It's too dangerous. But then Hooogan and his guys come up, start shooting everything. He jumps in the Danton jumps in the car. They get away. But then at the very end, when it's Danton, Fritz Matthews. So Thornton is, of course, this is Thornton's brother from Deadly
Yeah.
Prey.
You
playing
should
his
know
brother.
that the guy that Danton beats to death with his own arm comes back, but it's his brother.
It's his brother.
It's his twin brother
It's his twin brother, yeah.
who has gotten worse at acting with age.
God bless him.
And he's huge.
He is. He's a big. He. That's the body that I want to have as a dad, right there. Like that.
Just nothing but muscle and chub on you.
Right. That's it.
So
Just
what-
meatloaf and triceps. That's all I want. But he.
That's the guy. That's the dad who like. I'm gonna go work out, but he works out with a six pack next to him.
Right.
Like a six pack of
Yeah.
Budweiser as he's like in between bench press sets. He just
Yeah.
chugs a can.
That he has that incline, decline, and flat bench that he got from Kmart that you can
Yep.
fill the weights with sand or water, either one, and he can just put them
He
on.
does 30 minutes on incline, decline, and regular bench press. Then he goes inside.
Yeah, that's
His
it.
legs are twigs. So what happens when?
So at the end, of course, it's all three of them: Hooogan, Matt, Thornton, and Danton. Danton again kills Thornton with chops off his arm. Actually, Hooogan comes at him. Danton holds Thornton's arm. Hooogan chops it off, and then he beats Thornton to death with it again.
Great.
And Thornton gets up and is coming at him, and Danton's son shoots him in the head. So, yeah, so Danton's son comes out there, but then the three hacker people show up when it's just...
Danton's son is very young.
He is, and he shoots him in the head. He's credited for one kill in that movie.
Man, he's seen a lot already.
He has. But then Hooogan just shoots all the three hackers right there. Shoots them all, kills them.
Shit.
Yeah, and then Danton leads Hooogan into a trap and hits the release for this log that comes down, and then two blades come. It's the best kill of the movie, actually.
Okay, good.
But it's two blades that cut him at midsection and chop him in half. And
Okay.
so now Hooogan is dead. Yeah.
Okay.
So if there's a part 3, unless it's Hogan's brother, then they won't be a part of it.
So this movie did spawn a sequel. It came out in 2013.
Yeah.
And it's worse than the first one.
Doesn't this movie seem like one that would have the kind of, Fargo, North Dakota, Holiday Inn convention kind of things that people would go to, and they would have signings and press,
Yes.
kind of... I would go to that, actually.
That's what
I would love that.
I was telling you, we should start Action Con.
Yes, we should.
We get fucking Ted Pryor to come and wear those shorts.
Yeah.
And we can all get signed merch from Ted Pryor. So yeah, the repetitiveness really wore on me of the kills, and the music. Dear God.
Oh God, that.
They have about 16 bars of a score, and it's just on repeat.
It is. It's so horrible.
There's no other aside from like when Ted Pryor's character Dan wakes up in the morning and it's supposed to be like sweet and charming. I think that's the only other music we get other than like do do do.
Yeah.
Oh man, that really got to me.
It was, it's just nonstop throughout. You think it's like almost the SNL skit with "Let the Beat Drop." You think there's going to be one more note every time, but then there's never another note.
It just starts back over. And this movie actually has some like Hollywood legends, like Troy Donahue in it.
Yeah.
A sort of sex symbol of the 50s and 40s style movies, that golden age of Hollywood. His credits are endless. He's been working as a lead actor since 1957, I believe. So, well, that wasn't a lead actor, but he's worked with Elvis. He's worked with Sandra Dee. He was in Godfather 2 as Merle Johnson.
Okay. I don't remember Merle Johnson in that, but
I don't either. But good for him. He's in a fucking Oscar-winning movie.
Force. He was in Maverick, the TV show, Colt 45. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's been in Lawman.
They put him in a lot of that when he first signed a contract with the movie studio, because that's how they did it back then. They first put him in a lot of that those type of movies. So we have Troy Donahue, and then we have Cameron Mitchell.
Cameron Mitchell, yeah.
Who also did a lot of westerns and stuff like that. So I guess they must have made a pretty penny off of this, or they knew. My guess is they came in through David Winters because he was that old Hollywood guy as well.
Sure.
But I don't know. Otherwise, how do you get like these pretty well-respected, legendary actors?
Yeah, I'm not sure as far as, also just kind of what they were paying,
Yeah.
These two guys, or just especially these two, who are kind of like known actors who've had contracts with big producing studios, and it's just, is this something that they wanted to dip their toe? Well, here's an action movie that this guy's kind of
that
has been around.
They're not doing anything. They're like this type of movie's on the up and up.
Yeah,
I mean, good for them. A few odd facts about this movie, and I kind of picked it up as they were doing it. So Mike Danton, from the time he was arrested to they do all these weird cuts. I mean, they don't do a good job of telling you how long it's been, but within 10 minutes after being captured, he acts as if he's dying of starvation.
Yeah.
he like this. Okay, this is another one. I think it's the same music as when at the beginning, but this music does change here, and it gets a bit more softer. And he's supposed to be like, we're supposed to be like very worried for him.
Yeah.
But like he's at the end of his rope, and it's been 20 minutes of him running around, and he's like, "I'm starving."
The sun has just set on the same day he was captured,
and he never drinks water. He drinks water once after someone gives him a canteen, but the first thing he does is like, "I have to forage for food," and he eats a fucking worm, and that was a real worm he ate.
Yeah, that was. And I mean, it could have been but no, he eats it in like quarters, so we get like 3 whole bites from one worm.
Yeah, I'm swallowing that thing whole. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that's any healthier or not.
I think protein's protein at that point, so yeah, just take it all down.
The way in which he eats this worm is one of the more disturbing parts of this movie. So he picks the worm up off the ground. He spits on his hand like some type of porn actor. It just starts rubbing the worm down to get all the dirt off of it. And he does this like 2 or 3 times. And then he bites the worm in half, and this thing is just wiggling, and
it's good.
It was good. Yeah. And then there's also he eats rats.
Yeah.
The rats were purchased at a pet store, which was something I came across. So that's, I guess they weren't wild rats. Troy Donahue rode a motorcycle to set every day.
Yeah, man.
That was just another fun fact of the
like
IMDb of this movie.
Just Mike, I could see Michelson just rolling up on a.
I'm Troy Donahue, motherfuckers. And Danton's wife gets involved, and she's quickly and unnecessarily raped by the Hooogan, and then her father starts coming after her. He affects nothing in this story. There's nothing he does that changes anything. There's no outcome that would change if he did. If he wasn't in this movie, it would be the same movie. But I guess he has to kill the guy who's funding it.
Yeah, Michelson. Yeah.
So the monologue Marcus so brilliantly portrayed was Cameron Mitchell's character shooting Troy Donahue's character, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that comes about, even up to that point, we have seen, just as you pointed out, so we had seen the questioning of Jamie
right.
through her father who shoots Michelson. What was the license? Did you catch the license plate? Well, it was 427. Are you sure? Wait, no, it was 247. So we get this slow, and we get this great kind of questioning his daughter scene thing. Yeah. I thought it was just drawn out but fun in the same way.
It was like, do you think she's a suspect?
It's like he trusts nobody,
and he's giving no energy. Like, I guess you could say he's trying to play it subtle, but the subtlety to which he plays it is absurd. And
his eyebrows do all the talking in this movie.
Yeah, and he's like, "Did you see the van?" Like, I'm not exaggerating. This is how. Did you see the van? And what color was the van? It's very important that you listen to me. What color was the van? You're like, what the fuck is this guy doing? I guess he's former military. The way he acts and
yeah. Well, he says he's a former cop, so he spent all that time on the force. There's no music in the streets down there in the streets, and but yeah, we get him. We see him accessing this location, just driving up, and this walking path that just leads to it right there.
There's somehow finds all of it.
Yeah, there's a parking spot. Then you just walk your way down there.
How when you go up to a national park and you want to go to the trail, and they have the trailhead with all the parking spots. That's exactly what he pulls into.
I think that's exactly what it was. And he takes his old shotty that he had, or this .22 that he has in his arm, but then when we see him, actually in the base, and he starts to infiltrate the base, he's ditched the gun now. Yeah. And so now he doesn't have a gun, and now he's just walking around, not knowing what to do. I mean, we're in the same... I feel like we are watching him, like they just threw him out in the wood, or threw him out in this field and say, just walk around, and we'll just capture it on film.
I saw him doing what he was doing at the mall.
Right.
I'd be like, sir, are you okay? Yeah. Do you need help? I would look for ID and try to contact his care provider. Everything is so slow in this movie. The fighting, the dialogue. There's no, build to any, huge moments.
Yeah.
So every death you get, other than, yes, him beating the guy to death with his own arm is cool. There's nothing else, though.
No, there's not, that's the one thing, I would have, and I'm not saying that I liked the movie for different reasons than, a good movie. I liked, it was a fun thing to see, and because, these people, again, like we said, we've never made a movie, and it's just they're putting what they have into it, and it's just if you knew what this was going to be with the dialogue and everything as well, with the acting, at least just up it, turn it to 11 on the violence and the killing, and just maybe that's where you put your money, is just the choreography. You go hard at it and you have some good kills. And
I wish we could interview and be like, what happened? Is there an NC-17 cut where you get the knife? I wanted Rambo the one where he goes to the island and rescues the missionaries.